is going on, racers? We got a great show for you tonight. The great Kelly Hale with us. Don't go anywhere. You're dialed into the show that informs, entertains, inspires, and promotes all things that go left. Welcome to Late Model Monday, the weekly show to stay in the know about asphalt late models here in the Pacific Northwest. Tonight's show is brought to you by Miller Kitchen and Bath, Bailey General Contractor, and by Myers Floor Covers, Welch's Gun Shop, Flaming Pig Barbecue, and by the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval and the Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, and by the great folks at Product41.com, McKinney Glass of Yakima, Atomic Screen Printing, and BLG, Blue Line Graphics. Be unique, stand out, and get noticed. www.blg.blue. And now, back to your horsepower and performance hosts, Terry Bridges and the low Jeff Eden. Oh, what is going on, racers? Good to be back. Late Model Monday. I'm your horsepower performance host, Terry Bridges. And check it out. He surprised me. With me tonight in the studio, my main man, the loader, Jeff Eden.
Easy.
No, man, I'm excited.
Easy.
I'm excited. And check it out. We got probably one of the Northwest's greatest announcers with us tonight, Mr. Kelly Hale. What's going on, Kelly Hale?
How are you, Terry? Loader, it's good to see you back, buddy.
Thank you. It's been too long, to be honest with you.
It was too long. It's good to see your face.
Thank you.
I know, that's what I was thinking. We just got to get him to turn his mic right so he talks into it again.
It's like riding a bike.
Look at he's got the clown. He's got his clown mask there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey, you can't go into Costco unless you got
Turn your
one.
mic on.
That's
Is
right.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't go to Costco without
Try it the other way.
No, sir.
We're going to see.
Baloo.
There we go.
You can't go to Costco without it, so.
That's right. You can't go to Costco. So, Kelly, tell us, how are you surviving this COVID-19 mess?
I've been surviving it pretty well. I've been working from home now for about 6 weeks or so. So financially, my family's fortunate that we're all able to work from home. So financially, it hasn't affected us personally. But I got to tell you, man, it's the timing of when it hit and everything. It's that time of the year where we're all getting ramped up and we're all getting excited and we're ready to go to the track and see some friends we haven't seen for a few months, and we're ready to get our racing season going and have some good times. And man, what a punch in the gut.
Man, no kidding. Pisky Rubio Balderas. He's my homie from Mexico. He's tuning in. What's up, Pisky? He's awesome, man. Well, I'm going to tell you, I was this sounds weird, Loader. So, I was on my way home from work.
Work. Hold it. Time out. Work.
And I was talking to the driver, the guy who's training me today, and I said, it's really weird because on one hand you say, come on, people aren't getting paid and things are close, and then on the other hand, this stuff can kill you.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, it's a weird, the whole mindset is just kind of, where do you, I don't know, I guess you got to fall somewhere right in the middle, I guess. I don't know. It's just weird thinking about one day you're thinking, oh, man, no way. And then the next day you're going, man, people are dying from this stuff.
Yeah, it's a serious thing. There's no doubt what's going on right now. It's a pretty serious time, not just in our country, but the entire world. And, at the end of it, we'll get through this. We will get through it. And I know there's some pain and some hardship, but we will get through it. And we'll all get back to the track and we'll be back together again. And, we'll go on. we will go on.
Rasmus has said Kelly's been watching Green Bay Packers' greatest game replays.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I saw they're showing the Hail Mary game tonight. I didn't tune in.
Wow.
Well, and that I noticed you weren't real happy with their draft.
Oh man,
Yeah, you weren't very happy. I did remember that post.
No, man, I'm still not happy. Still not happy. The more I think about it, I'm like, I can talk myself into whatever the heck they did that night, but I just can't.
Well, now Luck is done though, right? Or is he still playing? Is Luck still playing?
Andrew Luck?
Yeah. Okay, maybe he was just hurt or something.
No,
whatever.
he retired. He quit.
He retired last year.
He did. Okay. Man, he didn't play. Did he play that long?
I don't know. What do you have, about 10, 11 years, I guess.
But
But
mostly
a lot of
hurt.
it was injured. A lot of it he spent injured.
Right. Yeah. Crazy. Well, he was no Staubach, I'll tell you that. Anyway, that's a touchy subject. It got quiet pretty quick. So, Kelly, I just got to ask you. So, when we resume racing, when we can resume, what, in your opinion, are the tracks going to have to do in order to maybe compensate for what's been on lately? My cousin, Curtis Johnson Sr., how you doing, man?
Yeah,
What do you think's going to be happening?
Well, I think we're going to have to pick up the schedule where we're at. I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot of time to be able to make up races. Perhaps we can add another class or two to the Saturday night schedule whenever we do get going again, and maybe do that. I don't see, I know NASCAR is coming back and they're going to run some Wednesday races. I don't know that that's a viable option for us to be able to run weeknight races. I'm sure that that's being thought about along with many other things. But I think most importantly, what we have to do is, once we do get back to going, the social distancing isn't going to go away. I don't see that going away anytime soon. And I think we're going to have to be mindful of that, as track personnel. How we set up the pits, how we set up the grandstands, and be aware of the social distancing guidelines that are still going to be in place.
Mm-hmm. Well, NASCAR shouldn't have any problem with that, right?
No fans going to be in, and I think I saw they're limiting crew members to 8.
Well, heck, even if they didn't, if they put those seats back in, maybe they shouldn't have taken them out so soon. Everybody could have spread out.
Yeah, right.
No.
I got to tell you, I'm excited for what NASCAR is doing. I think that they have a real opportunity here if they do this right. And I like the schedule and how they've worked that out. I think they have an opportunity here to get a lot of eyeballs on the sport again. And perhaps maybe some of the people that have tuned out over the last few years are going to tune back in, and maybe we'll even pick up some new people and introduce them to our great sport.
And that is that's something that I was thinking about too. Is you're going to have so many starved people for something live on TV. I'm tired of watching the Lakers from 19 whatever on Saturday. It just doesn't work for me. So
no,
that's what I am. I am hoping that this is what will happen. I noticed today that NHRA has stopped. They won't have no races until August. Period.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's clear they thought about it, and I think they came up with a pretty good plan, and I think it's acceptable by the ones who are going to be taking part in it. And I think we as fans will appreciate seeing them back on track, and hopefully we'll be following shortly.
Absolutely. But let me ask you. So, some of those fans that did tune out, there's a reason why they tuned out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it. In my personal opinion, I thought NASCAR kind of forgot where they came from, and I think that hurt them greatly. Like a lot of these short tracks that have gone under, I honestly believe NASCAR could have helped that. They took away that weekly racing series. They got rid of so many cool things that really were what was keeping the smaller tracks alive, right? I mean, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. I don't know everything, but that was one of the things.
I'm in agreement with you. I mean, and competition-wise, I think it really fell off over the past few years. I'm one of the ones that, I'd watch a Daytona 500, and then after that, I might watch a bit of a race here or a bit of a race there. I was more likely to do some pay-per-view of a super late model event somewhere in the country than to be tuning into NASCAR on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, dude, right.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's the best racing in the country. I don't care. Give me a super late model show every day of the week.
Damn straight. That's what I say all the time. Any day of the week over a cup race. I just think, number one, I think they're too long. Mm-hmm. The format, they don't need to be there, 3, 4, 5 days. I mean, I think that's just way too much. It drives the cost way too high. I mean, why can't they just go do like how we used to do it, right? I mean, Kelly,
right.
You remember the days, the old L-Scan days, the old late model sportsman. It'd be a Sunday afternoon. Time trials were at 1. Racing was at 2:30. You were out of there by 5 o'clock. I mean, it was, and that was on a Sunday.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens here, because there's no qualifying. I think the only race they're qualifying for is the one in Charlotte. But the other races, there's not going to be any qualifying. It's basically a one-day show. And it's going to be interesting to see if there's any permanent changes that come out of what happens here.
It says, Eric Johnson says, what's your opinion on the Cup guys not getting a single lap of practice? I didn't hear they weren't going. Because, boy, Kenseth and Newman would be kind of
in trouble.
They haven't been in a car.
Yeah. So I hope that iRacing is paying off for them.
Well, it ain't for Bubba and Kyle Larson.
No, it didn't work out very well, did it?
No, it sure didn't.
I think the no practice is going to be really interesting. I don't know that the drivers will be affected.
Boy, the crew chief is.
As far as the driving part of it goes, I mean, obviously getting your setup right and those kinds of things, man, you better be dialed in when you roll through that gate, or you might be in for a long day.
But see, like you said, though, maybe something good will come out of this. Maybe we'll stop this stuff of being there for 3 and 4 days. You come in Saturday, you can bring your car in on Friday, and guess what? Saturday morning, you get 1 hour of practice, and then you go qualify, and the car's impounded.
Yeah.
No work.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could work, but
I think it could work too. And I find the no practice part of it. I think that I think it was Eric who made that comment. I think that is going to be really, really interesting. We're going to find out which car engineers are really up to snuff, because it's got to be dialed right off the get-go. It's got to be dialed in.
So now are they? So then what are they just gonna? Are they just gonna pill draw then?
They're going off of points as they stood when the season got halted, is I believe what they're doing. So you have 35 charter teams. They're going to be in the 1 through 35 spots, to my understanding, and then they'll be lining up as they were in points.
And then this is basically how it's going to continue on until things change, right? They'll just go based off of points.
I guess. I suppose anything's subject to change,
right?
With the way things are going. But again, they're qualifying in Charlotte, I believe, for the 600. I think they're going to qualify for that one, but the other one's not.
Mm-hmm. Boy, I know that if I'm a racer and I'm showing up and there's no fans in the stands, that's going to be kind of a downer. It's going to be
weird.
It is going to be weird, man. I just don't know. All of a sudden, maybe some of the fun of it has kind of been, I don't care what anybody says. The fans make a big difference. And any racer that says that they're not a little bit of a glory hog, is a liar, right?
Yeah, there's egos.
Yeah.
It's an event, and I think that's one of the things about Cup Weekend, good or bad, whether making it a 3, 4, 5 day event. I mean, it's an event, and you get the large crowds, and the drivers feed off of that, and the excitement that comes along with that. So the fact that they're going without practice and doing that, get the guys in, get them out, I think is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going to lead?
The pageantry leading up to the race,
yes,
is really going to be missing. I think once they strap in and fire up the motors, then then they'll go back to their happy place. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the mindset is, because they don't have that pageantry and that big buildup leading to the actual green flag flying.
Keith Marshall says it'll be the first win for Rowdy without anybody booing.
Well, Kelly, you wouldn't know this, but I would. So how about as an announcer? I mean, you announce to full houses all the time. Me, on the other hand, I do so much go-kart stuff. I mean, I'm announcing to the pit people, but I mean, it's not like a full house. What do you think that does for the fellow announcers as far as nobody in the stands? I mean, is there even going to have a reason to be one other than the guys on TV?
Yeah, I don't know who all they're going to have there. I think there was going to be a small contingent, I guess, that they were going to allow in, but I don't. It would be pretty difficult to call that race over a PA if there's nobody there. Who are you talking to?
But here comes the deal. Say they make it to where you got half capacity. How do you say who's going to be there and who isn't?
I don't know.
We got to fight in the parking lot. We got a ring over here. The guy that gets out gets to go sit and watch, or
Well, more than that, Kelly. And last week, I'm sure you heard it. Tom Glithero made a great point when he said, a couple cars got wadded up and they were in the fence, and now you've got safety crews over there trying to tend to this guy. And that was something I had never even passed a thought about until he made that comment.
Well, that's why Tom was one of the most successful promoters that we've had here in the Northwest, because he thinks about those things.
Right.
And it hit me too when he said it. And I think he was referring to an incident that did happen in South Dakota. And the other thing I thought about too, besides that, the social distancing is out the window as soon as they have to respond to a wreck. But the other thing that I thought about too is many of these safety workers and the EMTs that we have on the track,
right?
They do in real life, And the thought of one of our first line emergency workers, possibly getting sick at a racetrack wouldn't be good.
No, it wouldn't.
And that's one of the things too. That's one of the reasons they kept saying stay home. That way your emergency people don't have to come out and get you.
Right.
And at first, that was understandable. And then I've been having to go back and forth to Oregon here quite a bit lately because of my wife's mother just passed away. And
sorry to hear that, man.
Well, her dad and her mom within 3 months. So it's been a rough go for her. But I-5 is like a racetrack. Punch the cruise control at 72 miles an hour, and you better be in the slow lane.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're ran over.
Right.
And that's, and I've seen a couple pretty good wrecks within this time, and that's the first thing I thought of. Here you go. All these first responders are having to go out there because you decided you wanted to drive at a, excessive rate of speed.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up kind of my second question. And some of these were, I just want your opinion, Kelly. I mean, there's no right or wrong, and it's kind of the same ones I asked Glithero and those guys, because everybody's got a different, opinion on this. But so we do get rolling, right? And I don't know what the due date is for us here. I heard Evergreen's looking at maybe the end of June or whatever, I don't know, but if and when it does happen, how big of a role are the fans going to play in all this? I mean, whether they're there or not.
It's going to be huge. And I've seen a lot of the talk about whether, some of us might open up without fans or whatnot. I don't see that. I think you have to open it up with some fans, if we're late to the opening back up, and if we look around the States where we're seeing some of the things that they're doing, and even places where movie theaters have opened up, they're only allowed 50% capacity, or restaurants are only allowed 50% capacity. We certainly have the space. Most tracks do have the space to be able to set up the grandstands in such a way that we can practice that social distancing. And I think once we open back up, I think people are going to be aware and practicing those types of measures anyways. We have to have fans. They want to come out. It's for them, especially short track racing, as much as it is for the racers and the hobbies, and it's a passion. Mm-hmm. It is for the fans too. It's a night out, and you see the same people every Saturday night, and it's because that's where we go and we gather on a Saturday night to have that social interaction with people that we enjoy being around, and we get to watch a great show. We can't do this and not let them in. I know some places are doing pay-per-view and that right now, but that's another expense, that we would have to set up, and no fans coming in. How are you going to pay for that?
Yeah, exactly.
You need a really large audience to make that work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff, just a lot of unknowns. And so, I don't even, and like we were just saying, even if the fans wanted to do something, really, what can they do? I mean, you're right, because, you say you get the pay-per-view or the live stream. Sure, if they buy it, that's great, but try to get somebody to, I guess you got to have a little credit, right, in order to get that going. And so,
well, it's like, what was it, the race back in South Dakota with the dirt modifieds and the late models back there? Dirt TV did it. It crashed. They had so many people, it crashed, and literally they had to put it up. It was free until they got their system back up.
Is that right?
Wow.
So that's right now, I see that's how bad people are jonesing for racing,
Oh,
yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that we would have fans that are tuning in. But we're a remote track, and you've been out there, Terry. You've done your live broadcasts from out there. It takes a lot to get us up and running when we do live shows like you've done down there, or Mortland's done down there. It's not easy, and then trying to get it set up for pay-per-view. It's, if we can pull it off, somebody wants to help us do it, I'm sure Nick and Butch would probably listen,
Well, Jeff and I have kicked that around, Kelly. I mean, obviously, excuse me, neither one of us, I mean, we're not looking to get rich or anything like that, but, I mean, we have been kicking around the fact of, maybe what is it going to take, and if we could do it, and, we would just want to do it to help some of the tracks out and kind of give back and say, hey, if it takes this, we did discuss a pay-per-view deal, but it wouldn't be like we would be charging the tracks. Right. Maybe we could just all kind of, take a little part of it, right, so that everybody got a little something for their time. But most of it, I mean, I'm sure, and I speak for Jeff too, that, I mean, we wouldn't want a big, huge part of the pie. We'd rather see that go back to the tracks if we could possibly, get that done somehow.
But that's the whole thing.
That's what makes you guys awesome. You do things like that, and if you can pull it off, I can tell you, you'll have the cooperation from the tracks to give you the access that you need. That would certainly be really cool. I think too, when we do open back up, depending upon how this phase-in works and what counties are going to be ready to go, it's going to be really important for all of us tracks to work together.
Amen.
We're going to be rolling into a time of year. I mean, if we're looking at July or August, right, is probably the most reasonable that we could think of right now, right? And you think about the races that all of us have in July and August. I mean, that's the meat of the season, man. That's when the 200s are happening. We got the July 4th show, which would be tremendous if we could pull that off. But we all need to be aware, and not all of a sudden all of us jump on having a 200 on the same Saturday.
Well, Kelly, and that's why I say, I've said this even before all this mess happened, but you have WARPA, and that's a really cool thing, but that doesn't really do anything schedule-wise.
Right.
And I think at this point, and maybe this is the prime time to maybe get something started where there's like a mini WARPA, right, where it's the track promoters. I think now more than ever, the track promoters need to pick a weekend and say, okay, hey, we maybe we can rent some hotel hall. I mean, I'm sure there's some open, or we go meet somewhere where we can all stay 6 feet apart, or whatever the case is. But
I was just gonna say
we need to sit down and like one of my buddies in Bend, they had a driveway party, and everybody stayed in their driveway, and they were more than 6 feet apart, but they had stuff going on. But I know that sounds crazy, but I'm thinking that at this point in time, how cool would it be to say, hey, okay, number one, how can we get together and still be, within the rules, and we should get together and find out, what are we going to do as a whole for the sport, not just my track and I don't care about yours and hey, I'm getting mine. And I think that might be a really cool time for everybody to come together and say, what should we do? What can we do? And what's the most feasible thing we can do?
Yeah, and I can tell you, Terry, that those conversations are going on.
Oh, yeah.
They are talking to each other. I was on the phone for about an hour last week with Doug up at Evergreen. And, I can tell you that they are talking to each other, and they're aware of how this is going to go down, and trying to plan for what is the best we can do when we're told we can go back at it. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets to open up first, if they're going to do this county by county, because you're probably going to see some places that get to go and others that don't right away, is how I would expect that it's going to go. But they're talking to each other, and that's a good thing.
Well, man, I know last year we tried it. I think we got rained out. But we were going to do a show together, and I brought some of my gear, and we hooked it up, and I thought we did pretty good with what we had to work with. But I'm really curious, what happened? I know Nick said you guys got a new sound system, so how excited are you about that? And kind of tell us what it is.
Yeah, so I've been asking for it for a couple of years.
Literally?
Yeah.
Yeah, so over the winter, I got the word from Nick that it was a done deal. I actually was at the banquet, at our banquet in November, and him and Tommy Yellowstone let me know that they had done this and they'd bought the new speakers. One of these Saturdays, I'm going to go down just to turn it on and play with it. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But no, man, I'm head over heels. You know what it's like, when you're an announcer and they buy all brand new equipment. I'm really excited for the fans, because we have the new speakers and we've set them up differently.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it'll be good for them. They're actually going to be able to hear me now. Maybe they won't like it. I don't know.
Right. And everybody at the snack bar won't have to have hearing aids when they're done after their eardrums get blown out. Yeah.
I felt so bad for them, because I couldn't, the way that the speakers were controlled, I couldn't turn down those middle speakers. I could only go left or right. And so I couldn't control just those middle speakers.
Dude, I've been there. That's so no, because you got to get it big enough to reach the far people, but yet you blow out anybody that's within 10 feet of it. I mean, it's a tough deal unless you got a lot of money and really good stuff. But I will tell you this: I bought and you guys may already have one, but I bought an FM transmitter. I got a sponsor, Stimpy's Bar and Grill, helped me out, and I got an FM transmitter. So now we can plug that in to the PA there at South Sound, and people in the pits could just dial it in. You say you dial it into 87.3 on FM, and boom, everything you say over the PA comes over onto their FM radio.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. And you don't need a license for that because it's only going on many.
That's correct. That is correct. It goes a mile and a half, so you can tell anybody within a mile and a half radius that, hey, if you want to tune in, you can tune in 87.3, and maybe it'll go that far, maybe it won't, but it's really what it's called is it's called an assisted listening device, and it's for churches and things of that nature when they do it. But yeah, it's all legal beagle. I got a huge antenna I just got to go pick up. And I also bought another wireless. So, dude, we need to go and play, and we just pretend. Oh, Elstone coming down the first stretch, right? We can play. Hey, we're going to go trackside with Terry Bridges. Terry, hey, thank you very much, Kelly. Right? Wouldn't that be fun?
Here we go.
It would be fun. It's one of the things, South Sound, it's been a one-man show ever since, I've been there, and it was a change coming from Evergreen. Because Evergreen, we had a 3 or 4 man team. Like you heard Steve talking about his days at Evergreen, and that's what it was like. We had 4 or 5 guys, and we always had a guy down in the pits. And when we do the 200, we get to the break, and I'm in a full-out sprint to get down to the pits, and then I'm in a sprint to get back up to the booth.
Right? It's almost, I know. And honestly, Kelly, I mean, I don't know if you were like this ever, but it was kind of like, and you get so used to doing your one-man deal that it kind of gets to the point where I don't know, for me it was kind of like, I don't need anybody. I'm good, whatever. I got my thing down. But honestly, after thinking about it, it's nice to have a little break.
Yes. And
listen to somebody else. And that's what I learned pretty quickly was, man, they're listening to me all day. It'd be nice to have somebody just to break it up here and there, with some cool info, and a lot of times you don't know what happened. Hey, I don't, all we know is he was smoking going in there. It'd be nice to be able to run over and say, hey, just a leaky valve cover gasket, no problem. They're going to get it fixed, be back out, that kind of stuff. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and what I do in those situations, what I try to do is I have my contacts that are down in the pits, whether crew members and things like that, and I'll try to get a text to them if I need an update on why somebody had to leave the track or something like that, and you have to get creative to be able to cover those types of things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just know wasn't last year, but the couple BKs before, Loader was up in the booth, and it really is a help to have somebody to throw stuff off of, and he would be seeing stuff that maybe I wasn't seeing.
Yep.
And it's just a way better deal, I think.
Makes a big difference.
It certainly does. Yeah. Loader, you got anything?
I'm just listening.
He's just listening.
So,
when do you think South Sound's going to open, or do you know for sure? Have you heard anything?
No, I just like everybody else, I can only speculate off of the updates that we get, every week or so. And at least now there's this phase plan. I think that gives us a little bit of an idea, and looking at our county, on when it might happen.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to guess, Terry, I think we're probably out till July or so. I know it's hard to say, and
I know it is hard to say. And then you look around, and I mean, I don't know about you, Kelly, but I don't know anybody really close to me, or even that's had it. I don't know anybody that's really had the COVID thing.
Like I know a few.
Do you?
Yeah, I know a few.
Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things. I know. Somebody told me, "Hey, we're all adults here. Let us make the decision if we want to go to the track or not." I mean, it's not like we're going to be holding the track responsible for if we get COVID, So I don't know. There's so many different attitudes towards this thing. It's just super hard to really. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you agree on any of it, right? Everybody's right in their own little way, so to speak, but.
I quit watching the news.
It's certainly in times like this. I mean, everybody's stressed, and you can just see it. You can especially see it on Facebook and in all of social media. The more this goes on, we're all stressed.
Well, Kelly, that ain't COVID. That's Facebook.
It's the platform we get to take.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, man. You certainly can. And even at the start of this, it was, it went from, hey, man, it's all good. We're going to get through this. We just got to, now it's, this guy is such an idiot and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. I don't know that I 100% agree with the way Inslee's handle it, but what else are you going to do, man? I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else you're going to do, and it's so difficult too, because what do? We have models, or we have an idea of how this might go and how many people are going to get sick or how many might die, but we've never been through this, and
that's so right. It's unprecedented, and there's no, I don't know how you can hold anybody. There is no right answer at this stage. I mean, you're 100% right. So how itchy have you been to get back?
Oh, it's every Saturday morning when I wake up, and it hits me that I'm not waking up and getting ready to go to the track.
Are you announcing your wife or anything, or?
No,
and as she comes around the breakfast bar, coffee in hand.
I announced the cat fight.
I love it. Well, I mean, you got to stay in practice, man. I mean,
well, he's yelling at the TV over the draft.
You idiot!
Yeah. So no, I miss it, man. It's hard. It's hard.
No kidding.
It's our time of the year,
Right.
That's what it is. It's our time of the year, and for us, this is what we do every year. We've done it for many years, and we know where we're going to be on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
And it's disruptive.
And think about Mondays, right? We're usually like, man, that was a heck of a show, and Jeff's calling me saying, man, I think we should try this, or man, you should do that. I mean, he was really the reason we started early, because he was like, you know what, man, through all this stuff, we need to start giving some of the tracks some love. So that's what we did. We went through that it was probably a month and a half, and we tried to get all the tracks on so they could talk about what's new and what's going on and their struggles and what they're thinking. And so, I gotta give Loader. I mean, that was a heck of a call there. That was on top of the box, making a good call.
Right on. And I've been thinking about that too. And like I said, my family is fortunate, and I'm aware that we're fortunate. We've all been able to work, and so financially, it hasn't hurt us. I'm not commuting to work, and there's different things, and that's saving us some money as well. And so I needed a fence, and so when I got to thinking about it, I was like, you know what? I know many racers that own companies that build fences, and I reached out to Jake Nakano.
I saw that post, Kelly.
And is like, you know what? If we want racing to come back, we think about all the racers we know that are small business owners.
Correct.
A whole bunch of them, man. A whole bunch of them. And, I thought, okay, I have some things that I can get done, and I can.
And I'm financially able to do that. Amen, dude.
And we need to think about that, and think about the racers who are small business owners that are hurting right now. And if we if we can throw some work their way.
Dude,
and,
you know what? I need a fence. So you know what? PM me that info, and because the wife and I have been talking about it, and you know what? I would. It makes sense to give those guys if they're racers and stuff, man. Yeah. So PM me that stuff if you got yours done, because that would be that'd be super awesome.
He's going to be here Wednesday to do it. So yeah, I'll absolutely get you the information.
Okay, that'd be great, man. Kelly, that's so cool. You know, and those are the things that I think that's what make our sport so awesome.
Yes.
Don't you? Is. I mean, we're all a family. When one struggles, we all struggle. I mean, it's just that's really cool, man. That's a great idea. And I hope all you listeners that are on here tonight, you know, keep that in mind. You know, everybody knows somebody that's a racer that owns a small business. I don't care whether it's a grocery store or look at Hale over there in Montana. He's got a little auto repair shop. I mean, Garrett Evans has got his used car thing. I mean, if you need a used car, you need to be going over there and supporting Garrett and making sure, you know, he's got families that depend on him that he can't pay now. And you're 100% right.
Yep.
Doug Betterall said.
Absolutely.
You know, Doug Betterall. Yeah, you think about what Doug has sacrificed over the past few years to keep Yakima up and running.
It's
to keep
huge.
At Yakima. Now is a great time to pay Doug Betterall back. You know.
Yeah.
Amen.
You know.
Amen. Because he's done more than just track stuff. I mean, he's helped a lot of racers too.
Right on. Yeah. Right on.
That's
all we can do.
So
we should be doing it.
So, out of the tracks in the Northwest, let's say even go clear to Idaho, who do you think is going to be able to open up then?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Meridian racing? Or they're doing it pay-per-view, I think, without fans.
Wow, I did hear that.
That's right, because Huffine said they were going to Meridian.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and that doesn't surprise me. I think Idaho's probably in better shape than we were here in the Puget Sound.
Honestly, Oregon's not that far behind them either.
They're not. No, they're not. You know, so if I was to take a guess on tracks, I really uncomfortable doing that, Loader, because it's really going to depend on.
Oh, I know.
It's going to depend on the phase-in plan, and it's going to go county by county. I don't think we're all going to be able to open at the same time.
No.
I think it'll be a county by county deal. But then how do you deal that? You know, if you say, well, King County, you can't open yet, but, you know, we're allowed to open. Well, then everybody from King County is going to come down to us, you know. So I don't know, man. I don't know, above my pay grade.
I wasn't holding you to nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
You get a better feel for what's going on out there, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, I think we're all still not. None of us are at the point where I think we can make those predictions yet.
Mm-hmm.
Meridian will be a pay-per-view.
Let's get to phase 2.
Hey, well, you know what, Kelly? While we still got about 15 minutes, tell me how did you get started on the mic?
So I've been a race fan all my life. Never been a racer. But the family had moved here from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
So we were just out touring the area one day, and we happened to be on US 2, and that's when I first laid eyes on Evergreen. And so we started going to Evergreen as our track to go to, and I had saw a posting on their website that they were looking for an announcer, and so I had conversations with Mr. Terry Buell, and he gave me a chance to get on the mic, and that's how it all started.
Wow, man, that's cool. And what year was that?
That would have been 2020. That would have been like 2006, 2007.
Wow. Now, were you a radio guy or anything before that, or did you were just a race fan wanting to jump in?
No, I had done some radio stuff. That was what I wanted to do with my career. You know,
too. We're in the
my-
same boat.
Yeah, my dream was to be Jack Buck. You know, that's what I wanted to do.
I don't. Jack Black. I don't know who that is. Help me out. I didn't watch the movie.
Baseball play-by-play guy.
Jack
Okay.
Buck,
Oh, Jack Buck.
not
Okay.
Jack Black.
Oh, okay.
Not Jack Black. Jack Buck.
I wanted to be Vin Scully.
There you go. That'd be another great one. There's a one-man show for you right there, right?
Man, dude, the best one, man. Right? I mean, there
Yeah.
were some pretty good ones there, but
You know, and not to change the subject too, but I had another thing that I thought was pretty cool is what Jeremy Anders did this last weekend.
Wasn't that awesome?
That was so cool.
Yakima's going to do it.
what'd he do?
They had they guys were in there. They brought their cars out on open trailers and stuff. It was raining, and it's supposed to be the opening night, so they toured the town with the cars.
Yeah, that is cool. I think didn't Agni Howell do the same thing? They Travis Sharp and them did that over in Montana.
They've been cruising the gut.
Yeah,
They took the car down on the gut.
that's pretty awesome.
Right? Yeah, and Yakima's going to do it. I saw a post earlier that there was something being planned in Yakima to do the same type of a deal. That was Jeremy comes up with great stuff.
Hale,
He's a hard-working man.
we'll be a copycat. Let's do it for Tenino.
We should. We
Right?
should. We should do it for tonight.
Yes, we should.
Downtown Tenino.
Damn straight. Remember,
Yeah,
where was that place we went to dinner that that night? You got me all tanked up.
What?
Oh, yeah. After it got rained out, he took me down to the tab, and boy, that guy,
Here we go.
Oh,
Stories are going to get bad.
he drank me under the table. Let me tell you.
Jeremy said they had 30 cars. That's good. That is.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh,
Yeah,
what
we
does it say? I want to be Terry Bridges and go dancing with us. Keith Marsh. You don't want to see that, Keith Marshall.
No, because he's usually outside in his underwear and his new tennis shoes.
I like Jeremy's comment about making me run the whole pits. That's a true story. That's a true story.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know what? We should try to do that
We should.
on a Friday night or well, Saturday nights when you guys run. We should try to. How do we do that? We just need to hook up.
Yeah, I think we get Stormy involved, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, she's friends with everybody and anybody, and she's a great communicator. And we probably reach out to Stormy and talk to Nick and Butch and see if we can put this together. We can all meet at South Sound Speedway and go tool the big town of Tenino.
Dude, wouldn't that be awesome?
You know,
That would
that
be
or
fun.
go back to Rochester through, Chehalis and stuff. Just, put it out there. Get it,
Right.
get everybody
Yeah.
thinking again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be super cool.
we can do it.
Heck yeah, we can. Maybe we can try to get one of the local bands or something to pull in a pickup with a little PA, play some music ahead of it,
Pickup.
right?
Hold it. You can't do a pickup.
There you go.
Not 6 foot apart.
Well, you put a trailer on it.
I'm not riding around with you. I've watched you drive. Trailer's the last place I'm going to be with you.
Don't listen to him, Hale. He's just he comes back. Look at that. And he just beats me up. I've been missing these whippings. I love it.
Right.
No, we should really try to do that. That would be so cool.
Yeah. The thought crept into my head too after I saw what Jeremy did in Wenatchee.
Yeah,
That would be cool. Make sure everybody knows we're still here and we're going to be back.
that's it.
One of these days, we're going to be back.
Dooman. So put your feelers out. Mike and Lisa Dooman, man, will get their vintage stuff, get all the vintage guys, and that would be cool.
Heck, you got old Brian just lives down the street. He can drive down there.
Right?
Meet at the casino where the banquet's held.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
could-
Tommy Rasmussen said.
Yeah.
That casino's closed right now, though.
We can still meet there, though.
Are they? All the casinos are closed too?
Yep.
Jeez.
There's the-
Jeez.
Yep. They.
Hell, you're in trouble then, aren't you?
I to be honest with you, I was actually surprised.
Casinos are closed. Could you imagine if they left the casinos open? There's nothing else?
You'd be broke.
Yeah, social distancing. These 6 machines are mine. Stay away.
Right.
Love it. Yeah, that would be really cool. We should try to. Who's Stormy? What's Stormy's last name?
Stormy Martin Townsend.
Okay.
She's on Facebook.
Okay.
She does most of our
Photo.
social media postings, and
Yeah.
she's kind of our event organizer and does a lot of the social work and a lot of the kids clubs and the giveaways and
Oh,
and all the
awesome.
See,
things
like
that we do at the track. That's all Stormy's doing.
like Brian says, cruise the
loop
loop in Centralia.
Centralia. That would be cool.
There you go.
Well, we need to make it an oval somehow.
Well, it is kind of one.
Is it?
It's real long and real narrow corners.
There you go, paperclip.
Yeah.
Martinsville. That would be cool. Yeah. Our two counties just appeal to love.
That's phase 2 today.
Okay. And hopefully that moves us along faster to get racing at Wenatchee. Early
Yeah.
June.
Let's hope.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, appealed. Our county's just appealed. Okay. So, yeah, Stormy is great. Gives us photos that last a lifetime. So
Yep.
that's awesome.
She does all the pictures.
Yeah,
Hard working.
that's great.
She makes it roll. So
That's great. Now, who else helps you make it roll there? You got yourself.
dude,
You got
okay.
you got Tommy Ellistone, you've got Nick. I mean, but give some of the unsung heroes. Like who runs the Snack Shack? Those people are amazing.
Well, that's Maureen. Maureen is working in that facility 7 days a week. And she's the one who takes care of all the ordering and the concessions and the hiring, and she has help from Lyle Sexton. But the unsung heroes are the girls at the back gate. They, I'm gonna tell you a little secret here, and I know we have other announcers that are listening to this show right now, and as soon as I say this, they're probably going to try to get my job. I just have to show up and turn on the mic. The girls take care of making sure that I have all the correct sponsor lists for each one of the drivers.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up now.
Right? Man, I'm spoiled. I am so spoiled with all the work that Stormy and Nancy and that all the girls do for me there. It's unbelievable. I just have to show up, man, and start calling some racing because they got everything else ready for me.
So you're really not that good. The girls are the ones that do it all.
They're the ones. They're the ones. No, it's a true story. True
I
story.
mean, it does. It makes, I don't know about you, but just having a hometown gives you a half an hour worth of stuff to talk about, right? I mean, people don't get that don't announce. They don't understand how important that some of that little info is. Like they'll give you your car number and everything, but they don't give you a hometown, and you're like, ugh. I mean, it's
Uh-oh. Rasmus said he supplies the ice cream.
Does he supply it or does he take it?
Well, it's hard to say.
yeah. Jeremy says good backgate girls make announcers great.
Yep.
It's true.
Yep.
That's absolutely true.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
So I make sure to let them know that as much as I can. So,
Well, you know what, Hale? I just got to tell you, man. It's we didn't know each other too well before last summer or whatever, but it's sure been a blessing getting to know you. And, I admire your work and, just the fact that you were so cool and ready to have me pounce and help you in. And at the time that Jeff and I were in, you did everything but, roll out red carpet, and you kind of tried to do that too, so.
Well, but sitting in with us, when we did
Yeah,
that pre-race
man.
show.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Because you knew you knew all the stats of those guys. We just were there.
I love having you guys there. It's always fun, and it always adds something to what we do. And so I do appreciate that you guys come down. I know that I can speak for Nick and Butch as well, that they're also very appreciative of the exposure that you give us on your shows. Every Monday night, you have something to talk about at South Sound. You come down, you support us, you talk about us on the show, and we really, really appreciate you guys. You add something really cool to the Northwest racing community.
Boy, that's
Oh, my head's getting big.
no kidding. We're not going to be able to get out of the door tonight. No, but seriously.
Well, and it is cool. And I will admit, I think it's cool when I go walking across the top there, because I like to go down to turn one and do a little film, or play around to get people excited for the show and stuff.
Yep.
And you always call me out as I'm going by. I think I love that.
Same thing here. He always takes a second to give us a shout out. So just know, Kelly, that as much as you say we do, it's like anybody. We all love hearing our names, and no matter, we're there 2 seconds or 2 minutes, you see us and you always say, hey, be sure you always give us a shout, and it's just it's awesome, man. It's totally awesome.
I'll keep doing it.
You better. No, but man, hey, thanks for being on. I know it was just kind of a BS session, and that's really all they are right at this point, but we're just trying to make sure that we give everybody tuned in tonight, just something to look forward to on Monday nights until we can get rocking and rolling.
Right. Well, we look forward to it. Don't ever stop doing it.
Love it. Kelly Hale.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you married?
Uh-oh, here we go. Oh.
I love it. Kelly, thank you, man. And you know what? Where do you live?
Maple Valley.
How far is that from where we're at in Olympia?
About a little over an hour from Olympia.
Oh, boy. Well, you know what? This summer sometime, you got to come down and be live with us in the studio on a Monday night. Would you do that?
I can make that happen, yeah. I'd love it.
Yeah, maybe we could go, but you got to let me know when you're going to go play with it because I want to go pretend with you.
I will. It'll be either a Saturday or a Sunday, and I'll let you know.
Dude,
And
okay.
I just got to make sure that Marine's around to be able to let us in the facility.
Okay.
And then, we'll start playing around with it.
You bring the Matchbox cars, and we'll start pretending.
Right? Well,
Well,
I was going to get a hold of Elstone and see if maybe we can get some RC cars out on the track.
Dude!
I got some.
Do you?
Do you? You got some? Awesome. Maybe we can get some go-karts out there, too.
Right.
Can't do that. Cat's full-time racing.
Yeah, we can see. We can see.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, Dooman's got a go-kart.
Yeah, man. Go-karts are awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Kelly Hale, you are a jewel, dude. Appreciate
Thank
you doing it on short notice, and really, it's an honor to have you on the show.
I appreciate it.
Seriously, man, I'm not kidding. And I know I speak for Jeff, too, because
I came back just because he told me you were on the show.
yeah. He said, who on? I said, Kelly Hale. Okay. So,
Nice.
you're loved, brother. You're loved.
I appreciate it. I feel it, and I appreciate it.
Right on, man. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, man. You guys take care. Loader,
Yes,
great
sir.
to see you back again, man.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Heck
Thank
yeah.
you. It's good to be back. It's been a tough couple months, but we'll make it.
All right, guys.
All right,
All right.
Kelly. Thank you.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Night.
All right, Kelly Hale, everybody. I am 0.7 of a mile away. I can reel you how it sounds.
I can tell you
I
how.
can tell you how it sounds. We'll have to get Bowman over here too one night. That would be kind of cool.
Got a couple things here.
Yeah, do it.
Before we get away, one of our listeners from back in the Midwest, they had a freak windstorm went through and literally triced his trailer. Big old tree right through the middle of it.
Yeah, and the thing of it is he's got emphysema stage 4 or 5. It's not good.
Yeah, he doesn't. So anybody that's listening from back in that, Chizzy, that kind of stuff, man, help the guy out.
Yep, for sure.
And we've actually had a dirt track get rescued in Montana.
And that is?
Electric City Speedway. It was due to close this year because they had, the owners were done. They've been there for 25 years. They were up in age. They just were done. And actually they had the coolest trophy from anybody because the guy had, when the ASCS is there, there's a grizzly bear gives you your trophy.
That's the trophy girls? A grizzly bear?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and it's, it was good to see somebody step up. They've did some improvements to it. They're, from the article I read, they're super excited about being there and doing it. So,
hey, Marv, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I got sausage fingers, LOL. Oh, Bowman. Oh, boy. And you thought I was bad. Lonnie Teacott, what's up, man? Good to see Lonnie, man. Former UASer turned dwarf car driver. That's so cool.
Well, who else was it you
The
were?
bear is Brutus.
Yeah. It's look. They take.
Go, Kathy. She knows everything, doesn't she?
They give him the trophy, and then the bear stands up on the back
Yeah.
tire and
Oh,
they take pictures.
dude. That's cool.
Oh, no.
That's really cool. Larry Robb. Thank you, Larry Robb. Love you, man. Thomas Plybon going crazy.
Yeah, hey, we all are. You know, may not have a car, but it's the same. It's if you're a fan, it doesn't matter. You are.
Well, look at for us. I mean, how many times have we talked? I mean, it is just we love racing and we love you guys. Really, we love you guys probably more than the racing, but you guys are the reason why we come back every Monday. We love the comments. We love,
right there.
I know. Steve Seiler.
No.
Stimpy's Bar and Grill, Mike Hunter, great show. Jeff the Loader and One Shoe Terry. Oh, my God. I'm going to have to explain that one day. But
It's never going to happen.
no, Mike Hunter will never let me live that down. And you know what? I hope he never does. That's
true.
one of the coolest things ever. But, hey, if you guys get a chance, Stimpy, I don't know if you're open or if you're doing takeouts, but I'm telling you, people, Stimpy's Bar and Grill in Kent, if they are doing takeouts, do me a favor. If you live in the Kent area or surrounding area, go to Stimpy's and get a takeout Stimpy burger. I guarantee you, it's probably, if not the best, it's one of the best burgers you will ever have. I'm serious.
Oh, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at Tommy. He's still tied for first place right now.
So, Rob Dees, thank you. Dees Motorsports, man. Get your T-shirts from Rob. They're pretty cool, man. And I'll wear mine next week.
And that's another thing, too, that like what Jeremy's promoting. Buy help the track out by buying their apparel.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure that all of them have got it, but, if you buy a shirt here and there that'll help the track until they get going.
Yes, it will. Let's get creative. We can all afford that, Okay, we're going to shortly. I know he's completely remodeled it, Stimpy's Bar and Grill.
He said just completely remodel the whole bar.
Yep. Just trust me, people, and go get some takeout from Stimpy's. I'm telling you, man. I'm just telling you, they're amazing. And Steve Seiler's one of the best guys ever. I'm still waiting to get me a T-shirt, and I'll go to Stimpy's, go find that podium. Yeah, man. Go, Lindsay. I'm telling you, man, the food is off the chain. It's off the chain. And seriously, we need to help Stimpy because, man, he's helped this show so much. And not even a question. Just, yes, I'll do it. No worries. Here it is. I mean, well, he's just amazing dude.
All our fine sponsors. I mean, all of them. Everybody that helps us is
Miller Kitchen and Bath, Bailey General Contractors, Myers Floor Covering, Welch's Gun Shop, Flaming Pig Barbecue, Leonard Evans and the Used Car Superstore, the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, Product41.com, Wayne Walden, Greg Walden at Atomic Screen Printing, Barrera Garcia Motorsports, BLG, Sessler Motorsports, and just all you guys that support the show. It's
if you didn't watch it, we wouldn't be able to do it.
We wouldn't.
We wouldn't have to.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, with that, Loader, you got anything?
Nope.
We're going to do this one.
Hey, race fans, this is Steve Blankenship. You are tuned in to the quickest show on the web. Late Monday.
Yep. Thanks a lot, everybody. We love you. See you next week.
Well, that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed the show. If so, please like and share on Facebook. And don't forget to stop by TerryBridgesRacing.com on the World Wide Web and subscribe so you never miss a show. The audio version of tonight's show is now available on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, CastBox, or Podcast Addict. For the Loader, Jeff Eden, I'm your horsepower performance host, Terry Bridges. And we'll see you next week for another episode of Late Model Monday, a Circle Left production. Peace.
doesn't drop out one time.
Not on this one, but it does on the other one.
Well, then you know what the fuck to do.
But I'm wondering. Yeah, but they're thinking about switching that thing over. But I'm going to keep going back to it. Yep, it never does on that one.
What's this new platform